is the truth on Darcey and Stacy from 90 Day Fiance. Guys, what is up? Max here, the Celeb Talk guy, and this is literally one of my most requested videos. You guys want me to do a deep dive on Darcey and Stacy's past, what they do for work, what they did for work, how much money they make, and all of that kind of jazz. So I did my research and I'm so excited to do this video, so let's not waste any time and just jump right into it. The first thing I want to talk about before we get into her backstory and all that kind of stuff is her money. Everyone wants to know about the money. Everyone asks me, is Darcey rich? Because if you Google Darcey Silva net worth, it says that her net worth is 1 to 5 million US dollars. And if you did see on the Darcey and Stacy TV show, we got to see their house. It's in Connecticut. It's easily worth $400,000 to $500,000. It's a very nice house. Not a mansion, but it's a really nice house. And so you could only imagine, do they have a lot of money? Well, okay, my answer is no, they do not. That is not possible for Darcey and Stacy, or even just Darcey, to have even just a $1 million net worth. No way. Now, this is my proof. Number one, the house, you could debate with me and say, well, her house, let's say it's worth $500,000. She owns it, right? Wrong. She does not own her house. Her dad owns the house. So right there, no, she does not own the house. That $500,000 in equity or whatever isn't even hers. And if you are wondering, well, what has she done for work her entire life? And I'll get into it next, but basically, long story short, nothing. She has never had a real job, as far as I can see, besides the fact that she worked at Hooters in college and stuff like that. But has she ever had a real, true career? Honestly, no, not really. I think she has made the bulk of her money on 90 Day Fiance and then doing cameos and maybe some sponsored Instagram posts, but $1 to $5 million, yeah, no way. I mean, it does look like, and it's pretty confident that you get about $15,000 plus per season of 90 Day Fiance. Not episode, season. So yes, you don't make much money, and everyone like Danielle and Nicole and a bunch of people have come out and said you really don't get much money for being on this show because it takes months and months and months for filming, and then I think they get a couple grand for doing the tell-all. So maybe she got 17, 18 grand, which is fantastic, but are you really gonna live off that and all of a sudden take 18 grand and turn it into a couple million? No. And before 90 Day Fiance, she was working for, guess who? I hate to say it, but her dad. It looks like her dad just does everything for her and Stacy. She was working for her dad as a producer, which I'll get into that next, but this is just so stupid. So yeah, not only did Darcey's dad buy, her and Stacy a house, they also worked for him basically their entire life. This is such a ridiculous story. So now let's transition on into their work. I keep saying they, but really just Darcey, but I feel like everything Darcey does, Stacy does too, so basically both of their work. And what it is the dad, let me just say really quick, is a rich engineer. He's some kind of a business person in the engineering world overseas in China. Clearly, the guy has some money. And it all started back in 2010 when I believe, I don't want to say for sure, but I'm pretty confident the dad had something to do with it, but it sounded like Darcey and Stacy just hired a film crew, probably from their dad's money, for like 5 or 6 months, and they filmed their entire family, the 2 girls. Stacy has a couple kids, and then they were both married at the time, and they just made a reality show called like My Twin Life, I think, and they basically just, followed them around, and Darcey even said it in an interview. It was like 5 or 6 months of filming. Okay, well, you can only assume they're giving these film crews a good amount of money. That right there could have probably cost like over 50 grand. Maybe not that much, but probably around 40, 50 grand. I know for a fact Darcey didn't pay for it, so likely in 2010 when she did shoot her reality TV show, her dad was probably the one behind it, paying for everything, more than likely. And the sad news is for Darcey, boo-hoo, they pitched the show to who knows where, and no one had any interest. So the show never went anywhere, and that was just that. Then let's fast forward a couple years to 2012, and kind of the same thing. Darcey and Stacy started another adventure, and that is House of 11. That is their clothing line that they started in honor of their brother, who did pass away quite a while ago from cancer, which, that's sad. That's like the only thing with Darcey and Stacy and that family I do honestly feel bad for. That really does suck. So that's unfortunate. And the House of 11, in theory, it's a cool thing. The brother, I think he passed on May 11th and he was born on July 11th or something. Might be flip-flop, but he had a really big thing with 11, obviously, and so, you know, they named it House of 11. It's a cool name in theory, but House of 11, there's nothing there. It's not a real thing. I have been saying this for literally like years now. And in the last season of Stacy and Darcey and Stacy, the dad said it because Darcey wanted to move to LA to work on this clothing line, but the dad just said, hey, I was an investor. I gave you guys money and nothing ever came of it. So House of 11, she tries to run around and act like it's some real thing, like it's a real job. And the dad even said it. He goes, it wasn't a good investment, meaning they don't make any money. Now, if you look at their online presence, they don't, and I'm a marketing guy, I can tell you one thing, they don't do any business. Now, Darcey was trying to play off like they were doing more stuff with weddings and stuff in retail. Maybe, but I still kind of feel like that wasn't even true. From hearing the dad's comments, he was just acting like nothing was there. Okay, yeah, there's not much of a job there. So she literally went from doing her reality TV show with Stacy to then in 2012, they started this clothing line called House of 11. And then in 2013, she did a 180 and they both became producers. And guess who they became producers with? They started a production company with, guess who? Oh yeah, their dad. Here they are again. Now they're like basically third thing that they've done with their dad. They started this production company called, I think it was like 11th Entertainment. I think that was the name of it, 11th Entertainment. And they actually produced a real movie called White Tea. And I've seen the trailer. I've not seen the full movie. I'll put a link above or below this video if you want to check out this trailer. It didn't seem bad. Like it's a real full-on movie with real definitely not famous actors, but there are real people acting, and it wasn't like horrible quality. Like they did decent. The movie clearly didn't, you know, wasn't successful. Nothing happened with it. No one ever picked it up. I don't even know if it was ever even really in theaters, but they did make a real movie, and then that was basically the majority of her production career as a producer, which it was hilarious. But while she was in that movie business, she also kind of transitioned, Darcey and Stacy transitioned into a new career path once again, and they transitioned into this music career where they became singers. And this music career kind of spiraled for a few years. They were singing backups in the movie White Tea, and then it kind of spiraled around for years, and in 2018, which is actually after she was on 90 Day Fiance, her and Stacy came out with a song called Lock Your Number, and oh my god, this is like the funniest part. If you guys have not heard this song, I am actually going to put a link above or below this video, like always. Hopefully I remember, because this is just like, without a doubt, I like all music. I like country, I like rap, I like old 70s, I like everything. I even can kind of listen to EDM, which isn't my favorite. And let me tell you guys what, this is the worst song I have ever heard. Well, actually, no. This is the second worst song I have ever heard. The first worst song is I'm Boss. No, not I'm a Boss. I'm Boss by Lisa Ham, I think, who was with Soulja Boy, aka, you know, Usman, whatever his name was. Usman, aka Soulja Boy. She wrote a song, and that was the worst song I have ever heard in my entire life, called I'm Boss. The second worst song is this one called Lock Your Number. It is the worst song ever. The first like minute of it is just this background techno kind of thing going off, no singing, and that was, you know, tolerable, definitely not great. Then all of a sudden, oh my god, guess who? Darcey and Stacy start singing this and that, and yeah, it is just horrible, terrible song. I hate to be all negative and rude, but the song, not very good. Now, am I a musician? No, but is this song very good from just my ears? Absolutely not. So y'all definitely have to check out that song. It was hilarious. And then that was in 2018. Now we're kind of fast forwarding a bit, but yes, she did spiral off into a music career. Now I personally have never, ever in my entire life ever heard anyone playing Lock Your Number on the radio. So more than likely that song didn't make much money, which just goes back to my point of saying, how on earth would she have $1 to $5 million? Therefore, meaning she probably doesn't. That is not her net worth. So yes, she spiraled off into the music career, but we did kind of fast forward a bit. So let's backpedal real quick back to 2016. That was the year before she got on 90 Day Fiance, and that was also the year she got on a television show called Millionaire Matchmaker. Now, she did not go on it, but we have heard from Starcasm. They have the screenshots. It is just true. And I have heard from like a million of you guys telling me that she was on this show. It's clear as day. She did not go on there and say her name, but she said, I have a twin sister named Stacy, and if you look at the picture, it's Darcey. It looks exactly like her. It is Darcey. So that was, you know what, her second run at reality TV, I believe, because she had that one show on her and her sister that did not really, work. Then she had the Millionaire Matchmaker show, which she went on there, and she couldn't get matched with anyone. She could not find love, shocker. And then the third one was in 2017, the next year. Oh my God, that is when we met Darcey and Jessie. And if y'all don't know, for some crazy reason, basically, long story short, Jessie was significantly younger than Darcey. They met on a dating app, according to Darcey, but according to Jessie, they met on like an international business networking app, which, I mean, they're both liars, so I'm not shocked at all. But that is how they said that they met, supposedly. So anyway, they met, and we all got to see on 90 Day Fiance. That relationship was a complete disaster. They're both crazy. They had no business being together. And then not much longer, Darcey appeared back on our TV screens with, guess who? Tom. And Tom has actually been able to keep himself on this show. I don't know how, because him and Darcey went on 90 Day Fiance. They were a god-awful couple. They really had no business being together because Tom just appeared to have no interest in her. Darcey was being very emotional. It wasn't a good fit from the start. And like, honestly, just Tom had no interest. Darcey was saying this and that, and she wanted an engagement ring, and Tom would kind of just stand there and not make any comments. So you would only assume that Darcey, I could see her kind of staying on the show, maybe. Not even really, but maybe she could do pillow talk and whatnot. But all of a sudden, Tom is like a freaking main character. Like, so then the next season of 90 Day Fiance, they were on it again, and they literally had no plot whatsoever. They had no business being on that season. They were on the one with Ed and Lisa and Usman and Dave and everyone. They had no business to be on it, but they were on that season, and literally the only thing that happened that season was just that Tom and Darcey met up. Tom called Darcey fat, which was not cool, and then they broke up. That was it. So I don't know why they were on that season, but they were. And then that was her third 90 Day Fiance appearance. And keep in mind, we have seen Stacy here and there throughout all of these seasons. She is always kind of there in the background with Florian. I'm not the biggest fan of Stacy, but I definitely do like Stacy more than Darcey because Stacy, she's just more normal. Darcey's either really high or low or emotional or this or that, and it's just kind of annoying. Stacy, she's typically pretty mellow-headed, besides when she got cheated on, and she wouldn't even admit that she did get cheated on. But anyway, we saw them 3 times on 90 Day Fiance. We also saw them on Pillow Talk a handful of times. And then this year, oh my God, they had their own TV show. But before we talk about their TV show, we have to talk about something that also happened after they were on 90 Day Fiance. And guess what? They both got arrested. Darcey and Stacy, they were fighting. They were going head to head. They both had totally different stories of what actually happened, but there were 2 witnesses, and it got so bad that they had to call the police, and they both got arrested. And yeah, kind of just crazy. Kind of thought I would throw that in if y'all did not know that. But now back to the Darcey and Stacy show. They have this new show, and believe it or not, I don't know why. I think this guy's kind of funny, but why is he on this show? Tom, he is not a main character, but Tom made an appearance on this new show, and he was literally on like half of an episode talking to Stacy. It was this big drama, and I'm just watching this thinking like they broke up like 2 years ago, like a long time ago. Why is he on this show? But Tom, yes, he made an appearance, which I just was so stupid. And then we got to really do a deep dive on Stacy and Florian, where we basically just saw that yes, Florian did cheat on Stacy with this woman. It was clear as day. And Stacy, at that point, I feel like she was kind of just like, you know what? We're so close to getting married. We might as well kind of just, stick this one out, get married. I'm just going to put this behind me, which in my eyes was a pretty bad idea, bad decision. But hey, she went with her gut and she married the guy and they appear to still be together. But Darcey, of course, we're never going to leave her hanging because if Stacy's got a man, she is the most competitive person in the whole world with her twin sister, Stacy. So y'all already know if her sister has got a man, she's gonna get one too. And she immediately met this other guy. She has met several other men. Let me just say, this one guy, actually, I talked to on social media, he's a real nice guy. He dated Darcey in between Tom and this new guy, Georgie. So she's constantly dating new guys, but she ended up meeting this other guy, a little bit younger, and he was actually still legally married. His name was Georgie. He seems out of his mind. He just, he seems like kind of a dramatic, kind of thinks he's a model kind of a guy. He thinks he's a celebrity, which it's like no offense to them, but they're not. I mean, they're not famous at all. They're kind of famous, but not really. So he acts like he's all famous and like a Kardashian and this and that. It's so stupid. And so does Darcey. So they kind of actually somewhat work. We got to see them together, and believe it or not, they did get engaged. Now, like 1 minute after the season aired, that they came out and they broke up, and then all of a sudden they got back together. So now it looks like they are still together. I don't know if they're actually going to legally get married anytime soon, but it does appear that they are still together and I guess still engaged. So, wow, a lot of different stuff going on, and I wouldn't be shocked if I missed a thing or two. Long story short, what has Darcey done for a career? Everyone always asks me that. Her reasoning is she's the owner of House 11, and she is a reality TV star and producer. Sorry I keep using my freaking air quotes, but it is just stupid. She acts like she has all these jobs, but in the reality is she doesn't, I don't think really does a whole lot, honestly. Maybe she's just a reality TV star, that's kind of her gig. She might have actually got a little bit of money, maybe, for doing Darcey and Stacy. I can almost guarantee you guys, though, that they just signed for another season, and they could make some money off the second season. The first season was kind of just a test, but now that they have the second season, they could get a little bit of money, maybe, for doing that. But House of 11, I don't think they've made squat on. And then everything else, her music and the movies and everything else, yeah, I don't think there's much there. But good old Darcey, she has had one heck of a life trying to get famous, trying to get on TV shows, trying to become a famous musician. She has just, she's doing a million different things, and it is kind of honestly hilarious. So guys, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I have gotten this requested for so long. I've been meaning to make this one for a very long time, but I wanted to make sure I have all the research and info. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, it means the world to me to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below your thoughts, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.